morning students. Let's continue with our quantum number. In the previous class we had discussed the two quantum numbers that were principal and the azimuthal quantum numbers. There we had discussed that principal quantum number tells about the location and the energy of the electron, and various information also we can gather from it. The value of principal quantum number, and from the angular quantum number, orbital angular quantum number, or various other names were used, azimuthal, subsidiary or secondary quantum number. From that we can find out the information about the subshell. What is the shape of the subshell, what is the number of the subshell. So we had discussed these two quantum numbers in the previous one. In this video I am going to tell you about the remaining two quantum numbers. The third one, it is the magnetic quantum number, and the fourth one, it is the spin quantum number. See students, देखो पहले shell it gets divided into subshells. Now each subshell we will discuss orbitals. It will be further divided into orbitals, and then about the spin. So here in the magnetic quantum number we will discuss about the orbitals. So what do we mean by orbitals? Let's try to find out. Magnetic quantum number, it was studied by Zeeman, and it is represented by small m. Okay, students, I had written this definition of quantum number so as to have the meaning of the term quantum number. These are the four values which are going to explain the behavior of an electron in an atom. Okay, so the Zeeman, he studied the magnetic quantum number and is represented by small m. Now, in the presence of magnetic field, each subshell further splits into orbitals. We are saying that each subshell, suppose हम बात कर रहे हैं, एक first shell है n is equals to 1, and we saw that there was only one subshell present in that. When n is equals to 2, two subshells were present, that were s and p, and n is equals to 3, likewise three subshells were present. And now we are talking about the orbitals कि जब magnetic field apply होता है तो each subshell it gets divided into orbitals. Okay, so it splits into orbitals. Or one more meaning you can write here: electrons of the subshell orient in certain preferred regions of space around the nucleus, that is called as orbitals. जब magnetic field लगाया जाता है तो जो subshells है, how many possible orientations are possible for them, how many orientations are possible, उसके basis पे we are given the number of the orbitals. So actually they are orbitals as such कोई word नहीं है, but it is the possible orientations of the subshell around the nucleus. So मैंने यहाँ पे word लिखा है one value. अगर m की value 1 है, that means one orientation is possible. One orientation possible है, that means one orbital it is representing. Okay, now here the formula to calculate the value of m is equals to minus l to 0 to plus l. अब इसका कैसे इसको हमको अप्लाई करना फॉर्मूले को, that we will see. टोटल वैल्यूज हमारी कैसे आ जाएंगी, 2l plus 1. जितनी भी l की वैल्यू l की जो भी वैल्यू है उस फॉर्मूले में रखेंगे, और टोटल वैल्यूज ऑफ m हमें मिल जाएगा, और n स्क्वायर से भी हम डायरेक्ट वैल्यूज निकाल सकते हैं. सो लेट्स गो फॉर द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ द वैल्यूज. नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, हियर l इज इक्वल्स टू 0, यानी हम यहाँ पे फॉर्मूले में l की वैल्यू 0 रखें, माइनस 0, 0 प्लस 0. सो इट इज हैविंग हाउ मेनी वैल्यूज, its value is 0, that means only one value, isn't it? हमें कितनी वैल्यूज मिली है इसकी, one value. That means हम यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे, one value is equals to orientation and that is equals to orbital. So one orientation possible, only one orientation is possible, or equals to one orbital is present. Okay, so we represent it like this. यहाँ पे केवल एक ऑर्बिटल प्रेजेंट होता है. Now if the value of l is equals to 1, l की वैल्यू अगर हमारी है 1, अच्छा यहाँ पे हम क्या रख दें बेटा, यहाँ पे माइनस 1, देन 0, बीच में और कोई वैल्यू आएगी नहीं, माइनस 1, फिर हम वैल्यू रख दें 0 और प्लस 1. ओके, अब इसकी डिफरेंट वैल्यूज पॉसिबल है. माइनस 1 जो वैल्यू है उसके लिए हम रख देते हैं px, pz और py. दैट मीन्स यहाँ पे कितने ओरिएंटेशंस पॉसिबल है, टोटल वैल्यूज हमारी कितनी आ गई स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे मैं लिख रही हूँ 3 वैल्यूज. हाउ मेनी टोटल वैल्यूज आर प्रेजेंट पॉसिबल हियर, 3 हमारा p सब शेल है वो कितने तरह से ओरिएंट कर सकता है अपने आप को, 3 वेज में, px, py और the another one is pz around the 3 axis. Okay, so they are designated by px, py and pz. So we will write three orientations, or you can write 3 orbitals. Okay, we will represent it like this. So p sub shell, when it is placed in the magnetic field, then it is having 3 orientations possible, that is px, py and pz. Okay, so they are represented like this. When n is having the value 2, that means अब हम यहाँ पे वैल्यू रख दे स्टूडेंट्स, -2 के बाद क्या आएगा हमारा, -1, then we will have of course 0, then +1, then +2. So these are the possible values when n is equals to 2. टोटल हमारी कितनी वैल्यूज आ गई स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे 5 वैल्यूज आ गई है. That means 5 orientations or 5 orbitals are present over here. And इनके जो designations होते हैं वो मैं लिख रही हूँ. This is dxy, this is dyz, dz square, this is dx z, and this is dx square minus y square. Okay, so in this way we will write down the names of these orbitals. Students, इनकी जो details है, इनकी जो shapes की जो details है, that I will discuss you separately, so don't worry. यहाँ पे कितने possible orientations हैं, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 that we had already written here. If I have to draw the orbitals of d, then I will draw 5 orbitals, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is dxy, dyz, dz square, dxz and dx square minus y square. ठीक है, ये इनके names हो गए. If L की value it is 3, then it can have values -3 से start करेंगे हम up to +3. -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, +3. कितनी total possible values हैं, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we can write 7 orientations or 7 orbitals possible. Okay, so यहाँ पे we will draw 7 orbitals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, now here one important concept is that in the absence of magnetic field, they are arranging themselves around the nucleus in different orientations. But जब वहाँ पे magnetic field नहीं है, तो इन सब की जो energy है, it is equal. And one word we will be using, degenerate. Degenerate orbitals means orbitals having the same energy. It is having the 3 orbitals, that means 3-fold degeneracy. It is having the 5-fold degeneracy. It is having the 7 orbitals, that means it is having the 7-fold degeneracy. Okay, so here we had discussed about the orbitals. We had seen how to calculate the value of orbitals and then what do they mean. And the last point is total number of electrons. हम कैसे निकालेंगे, अगर हमें n की वैल्यू पता है, that we already know, 2n square, and if we have to calculate by the value of subshell, then we will use the formula 2 into 2l plus 1. So you can find out the total number of electrons. So the last one that we are going to discuss now, it is the spin quantum number. Last quantum number, that is a spin quantum number. It was proposed by Gauss-Smith and Uhlenbeck. I had written the names of the scientists over here, and it is represented by small s. Okay, so what is spin quantum number? It indicates the direction of spinning of electron present in any orbital. We know that electron, along with the movement around the nucleus, it also spin on its axis. So this spin quantum number tells us about the spinning of electron in an orbital. So it can have 2 possible values, students. If it spins clockwise, value will be plus half. If it is spinning in anti-clockwise direction, then it is shown by minus half value. So I have written it can have only two values. It can be shown like this by upward arrow showing the clockwise direction, by downward arrow by showing the anti-clockwise direction. Like in the magnitude quantum number, we had seen that each orientation was representing one orbital. So in an orbital, two electrons are possible. One will be having a clockwise direction and the another one will have the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Spin angular momentum can also be calculated by the value of this quantum number, that is root s plus 1. Similarly, as we had done in the azimuthal quantum number, you can find out the value of spin angular momentum value. Okay. Now this was all about quantum numbers. Here I would also like to tell you about the orbits and orbitals. Students बहुत generally means क्या होता है कि students generally confuse होते हैं कि what do we mean by orbits, what do we mean by orbitals. So we will make it clear ताकि आइंदा से आपको कभी कोई confusion ना हो कि orbits और orbitals actually में difference क्या है. ठीक है? So let's clear it. First, orbits, well defined path. ये हम बोर की थ्योरी पे जा रहे हैं. बोर ने क्या कहा था? There are well defined circular paths around the nucleus in which electron revolves. So the term orbit was used by the Bohr mainly. And what are orbitals? The scientist Heisenberg, he completely discarded the possibility of the orbits. उन्होंने क्या कहा कि region of space around the nucleus where probability of finding the electron is maximum. तो उन्होंने उस जगह को बोला ऑर्बिटल, जहाँ पे वो जगह अराउंड द न्यूक्लियस थ्री डायमेंशनल रीजन वेयर प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ फाइंडिंग द इलेक्ट्रॉन इज मैक्सिमम, तो एक टर्म उन्होंने दिया ऑर्बिटल. ओके, सो दिस इज द मेन डेफिनेशन ऑफ ऑर्बिट एंड ऑर्बिटल. Now other points we will study. It is circular or elliptical. We had seen already that these different orbits, shells, energy levels, they are generally circular or elliptical in shape. And here in the orbitals, they are having the different shapes. What it can be? Different shapes, students. You can very well tell me if it is as, it can be spherical, dumbbell or double dumbbell. Okay, you can write it in your notes. The next one is non-directional. These orbits, they are non-directional and here they are directional except the S. जो S हमारा जो सबशेल होता है, that is non-directional. Otherwise they are directional. Otherwise they all are directional. Fine. Next point, maximum number of electrons in an orbit is equals to 2n square, that you already know. Here the maximum number of an orbital electrons in an orbital, it is always 2. It is always equals to 2. What is 2? The number of electrons which can be present in an orbital. Okay. The next point, planar. It represents the planar movement of the electron, that is in one plane. It represents the one plane movement of an electron in one plane, or you can say two-dimensional. It explains the two-dimensional movement of the electron, and it represents the three-dimensional movement. Okay, because we had seen a space where it is a three-dimensional space where the probability of finding the electron is maximum, that is called as orbital. So it represents the three-dimensional movement and it represents the two-dimensional, that is the planar movement. The last one, it gives definite path to an electron. ये क्या कह रहा है कि इलेक्ट्रॉन एक डेफिनेट पाथ में मूव करता है, एंड इट वाज अकॉर्डिंग और इट वाज अगेंस्ट द हाइजेनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिंसिपल. Yes, it was against this principle because this Heisenberg, it completely discarded the possibility of orbits, and this is in accordance. What you will write? This is in accordance to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Students, just write it complete in your notes that orbitals, it is according to the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, because he said there is no orbits, but actually there are the orbitals present around the nucleus where where you can find out the electrons with most probability. So here students, I had discussed with you the quantum numbers as well as the differences between orbits and orbitals. Thank you and keep studying.